Ben Schwartz, and welcome to Week 5 of the Albany Firebirds review and preview show. I have a lot of interviews coming up, so I can't talk a lot about the game. But there isn't much to say anyways. I mean, yet another loss. Unlike our usual performances, we actually didn't do too well in the first half at all. That's unusual considering the fact that over the past 4 games before that, we had actually played very well in the first half. As I had said before, you're tired of that, not doing well in the first half. But, I mean, in the second half, you're tired as a fan of the team just deteriorating every game. But this week, well, Wilkes-Barre just kind of handled us throughout the game. Very low scoring for us, very high scoring for them. Probably the biggest story coming out of this week was the fact that the Firebirds made an offer to the Michael Vick. Michael Vick has been in jail for quite some time for the dog incident that I'm sure almost all of you have heard of. Got huge national media attention. Star NFL player gets arrested for abusing these dogs, making them fight, and that was allegedly out of his house. So the Firebirds apparently made him an offer. The league is obviously very low paying, so the odds that Vic would actually sign with the team are very low because he isn't dead from this jail business, and he's had to sell almost everything. So he probably needs a bigger contract than we'd offer him. But even so, the contract included paying a Humane Society $100,000, and in a few posts below this, actually, an executive for the Humane Society that would have been receiving the money commented and actually said that he did not believe that that was the right thing and that he should be the one that's proactive and Vic should be the one that's helping out society, not just giving out his money, which I don't even think he has. So we'll get now to the interviews. And obviously a tough game. It's hard to go after there and see the player reactions, but everyone has their heads down. You can see Christian Wise and Norman Bauer's interview, which I posted earlier this week. You can use the buttons on the right side of the page to access those, or just scroll down. Also, another thing, in posts, a lot of people comment, which is nice, but a lot of people use anonymous. You don't have to use anonymous. You can check the box. Once you comment, it says name a profile or something like that. When you select the drop-down box, there's one that says name/link or something like that, and once you get that up, you can just type in your name. You don't actually have to have a Google or Blogger account. You don't have to have anything. But it's nice to be able to differentiate because obviously there are different personalities and different people, and that's very clear. But, you may as well put in your first name, whatever, so we can identify you. So I'm here with Alvin Ray Jackson, Firebirds wide receiver, and another tough loss. What is key to staying composed when a team doesn't have any wins and, you're young? How do you guys have to just stay together as a team and believe in winning?
Well, first of all, this is our job, so we have no choice but to stay together. So that's the main reason we have to stay together, because this is a job, and we have to come here and be professional and ready to play and practice every day.
And after Brett Hall was cut, the team said, you're now the backup quarterback. How has that changed maybe your responsibilities or what you've been doing in practice and your kind of mindset as you're watching maybe on the sideline or even when you're in the game receiving?
Well, not much. I know the game. Got to do my job. Unfortunately, I didn't do my job well enough today, and it didn't change any mindset. We just got to come to play, and we did today.
And it's interesting because I don't know if play calling to you guys seems as if it's an issue, but do you think maybe the team can utilize you kind of like, we saw in the NFL this year a lot of wildcat, quarterback running around, and it seems like you would be a perfect fit for that. Does the team consider that at all?
No, this arena. That kind of stuff you're not going to find in an arena. And plus, we have a quarterback that can get the job done. There's no need for me to get back there.
And when do you think that this quarterback situation will be resolved? Bednarik doesn't seem to be clicking necessarily, but when do you think that maybe Wassel will be back? How has he looked in practice? And just talk about the general quarterback situation as it stands.
Well, Adam is doing an okay job, We all got to pick him up and help him up. Coming from the offensive line, me, myself, and other receivers. Wassel looks good in practice. But, hey, Adam is our quarterback. When Wassel get back, then we'll talk about that. But anything else, we got to help out. It's not all on Adam. Adam does a great job.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
What kind of personnel changes do you think might need to be made, and do you think that the ones that you made recently in the past week have helped at all, maybe?
In some spots, but it's a lot of changes about to be made because it's week 5 when you got guys doing the same mistakes over and over and over again. At some point, you got to wake up, and I'm woke. I'm wide awake, so changes will be made.
Is there much you can do, really, Tony, at this point in the season, 5 weeks in?
Yeah, we still got 11 more games to go, and that's a lot of football left. And I'm gonna get guys in here that want to play just for the fun of it. And everybody here is in a comfort zone, and I'm about to help them get out of the comfort zone.
Do you think getting Steven off injured reserve should that help?
That should help, but at the same time, it ain't gonna help if we can't protect them blowing protections.
And what about the 2 injuries that we saw? You know what they were, and it looked like they were serious or not?
Don't know just yet. I know Christian Wise, it was his shoulder, and then he had home with his knee. Hadn't talked to the doctor to see how serious it was, but it was serious enough for him to come out the game.
Traditionally, you guys are a very good first half team, and this week that didn't exactly work. But what's important to maintaining that first half performance and keeping it going for the rest of the game?
Hunger.
And do you think youth has a lot to do with that?
I don't put that on youth no more. We 5 weeks into the end of the season. It ain't nothing these guys hadn't seen that they can't recognize right now. If you were saying that week 1 and week 2, yeah, but not now.
Which play was the fan play, Tony? Did the fan play do anything tonight?
Actually, it was a good call. It's one of our better plays, what we call a sail slant. It was a good call by him. It was actually a good play.
Yardage?
Yeah, it's actually a good play. One hour go-to play, so he picked a good one.
Thanks, Tony.
All right, thank you.
It's an offensive game, and we're obviously not putting up enough points on the offensive side of the ball. Regardless of what the defense is giving up, the defense has been there all year for us, and I think offensively we got to do a better job in putting up points. And like I said, it comes with execution. We're not necessarily executing the way we should be on the offensive side of the ball. And in all areas, it's not just one specific guy or one specific spot. So we got to be able to come together and everyone do their part and put more points on the board.
And it's definitely not one person's fault, and I'm sure it's hard to determine what part of the field maybe needs the most work. But do you think there are any personnel changes that could be made that maybe could improve your team, not dramatically, but at least start progressing?
Well, that's something, the coaching staff, I'm sure, will go and look at through film. That's their job to do that. All we can do as players is go out and, try to perform the best of our ability, and it starts, on the practice field. And if you're not doing your job, then you got to try and do what you can to improve it and, move on from there.
And I'm sure it won't change, but now that Wassel is getting healthy again, how do you change in practice knowing that, you need to, show the team that, you need to belong and that, you can play over him, even though you guys are teammates and you need to stay, friends and you need to work together because you're both, in charge of play calling and stuff like that. How hard is it maybe to stay with him when you guys are going to be competing?
Well, him and I are both good buddies, and we're both competitors, and that's how it should be. We're just gonna go out and try and compete every day, and that's how I take it every day. Even though he's been injured, I go out and compete as if it's I'm still competing against them or whoever it may be. That's how you got to take it. That attitude. This is a job. This is our job. So you got to do what you can to try and stick around. And I think Steve's the same way as myself. We're gonna go out and try and improve ourselves every day. And whether it be as far as practice, you got to compete. That's what it comes down to, is competing.
All right. Thank you.